Oh, I forgot to record. It's on recording now. I paused for your self-exploration. So to recap, we do need a space between boxy and chartreuse so we can access both classes. If we didn't have a space, we would look for a class called boxy chartreuse, one word, which doesn't exist. All right, one last thing before I send you off on your own. And that is JavaScript. I console logged for you, but I want to meld it together for you a little bit. So let's Google how to change CSS with JavaScript. Change CSS with JavaScript. The first link is W3 schools. And I mentioned W3 schools before. They might not have been super helpful for the backend, but for the front, I love looking at W3 schools because they have examples. They have examples you can use. So they have here a whole HTML. I'm just gonna copy this part for now. Screw it, let's just do the whole thing and see what we have. Go ahead and Google this yourself. Google change CSS with JavaScript. You probably have the same link pop up. Find the W3 schools and copy and paste this. I don't like this indentation though. This hello world is now blue because the script tag was run and the JavaScript got the element by ID. We talked about IDs before. And it set the style of that element to color equals blue. Now, let's say I want to turn this here, this p tag. I'm going to give it an ID of p. Let's say p tag. Copy this line. Change this because I'm looking for a different ID and it's going to get the element by the ID. And change this to red. If I refresh the page, why didn't it change to red?
Because the inline takes precedence?
So for the script tag, you want to make sure that it's on the bottom because this code is going to run from top to bottom. Your p tag was made here, and when it hit line 7, it found this ID of p2. It went to line 8, and it says, wait, what element are you talking about? It doesn't exist. Nothing happened. You want to move your script tag all the way to the bottom. It can be anywhere. When you're writing code professionally, you're not going to have a script tag inside your HTML. You're going to have a JavaScript file that you import. But for right now, while we're playing around, we can put a script tag, but we have to make sure it's on the bottom. and that changes to red. This is kind of boring, so let's make it a little funner. I'm gonna write a function, and it's gonna be called flash.
That's going inside the script.
It's inside a script. I'm gonna move my tag in here, and right now, what should happen if I refresh the page?
Maybe it's flashing.
It shouldn't be flashing. All I'm doing is changing the element to red. But I haven't called the function. I haven't invoked this function. I just declared it. This is back into JavaScript. Now, I'm gonna invoke it. Now, I have executed the code inside. I actually want it to flash different colors. I'm gonna make an if statement. I could probably write a fancy loop, but for right now, I'm just gonna go between 3 colors. I'm going to get this here. And I'm going to set it to a variable. So it's going to look and it's going to say, what color is this p tag? This element with the ID of p tag. What's the current color? If the current color is red, I want to, I'm just going to copy that line in there. I'm going to turn it blue. Else if, wait, is that how you say else if? Why isn't it?
I think you're missing a quote.
Oh.
17.
Oh no. Thank you. Oh. Else if the current color is blue, I'm gonna make it, let me make this bigger so it's not so cramped. I'm gonna put this in here and change it to green. And finally, I'll have one for if it's already green. And copy this line, make it red. So I could have made a loop, which probably would have been nicer, but I made this long if. And all we're doing is getting the current color and setting it depending on what it already is. If we run it now, it'll probably only run once. It's not a loop yet. It's black. Why didn't it change to green?
Because you initially only applied the style to, so it's going, doesn't have any style.
We're in there, the black.
It only ever change if it's one of the other colors.
Oh, I changed the P2. I thought this one was changing it to blue. Okay, so if I'm changing this to blue, then it should see that it's blue and change it to green. Okay,
And if you refresh it, it will.
If I refresh it, it'll just load everything again, and it'll stay green. JavaScript has a nice function called set timeout. W3 schools again. So set timeout and the function and then the time in milliseconds. I'm going to set timeout. Do I have to capitalize? Yes. And I'm gonna give it the function and the time. And let's say I want to do it every second, every 1,000 milliseconds. Do I need invoking here? We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
It did seem to flash. Why did it only flash once?
What's set timeout?
It did go from blue, and when I refresh it, it went from blue to green after 1 second. Because
Because it only runs through the set timeout once.
yes, it only runs it once. So if I wait for 5 seconds, it'll be blue, which we set it to blue here. We set it to blue here. And then it doesn't run this function for 5 seconds. That's the set timeout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I want it to flash repeatedly, I'll just call it recursively. And let's make it a little faster. Or I'm gonna do it recursively in here. Now it'll run it, and when it gets to the end, it'll tell it to run itself in 1 second. And now it flashes. We can make it, let's make it a little flashier.
1 millisecond.
Well, oh,
The screen's
well, that's
really good
not
at 60 times.
50 milliseconds? Oh,
Oh god. Virus.
yay, okay. So that might have been a little, I didn't think it would be so complicated, but you can go and write JavaScript right in your HTML file. And just Google how to do the thing that you want to do with the JavaScript. Say, I want to move. Just use your imagination. And W3 Schools has a lot of good examples. You can try it yourself. And you don't even have to paste this into your text editor because it gives you all the code here. And you can just run it. It'll produce the page. And you have this button here that has the value of try it. You can see this button here. And when you press it, it should alert you, but not right away. After 3 seconds, then it alerts you. That's why I like W3 Schools, for those examples. All right, I'm going to give you your assessment
Stop the recording.
and stop the recording.